We'll call the meeting. I'll do that again. 7:02, we'll call the meeting to order. We're going to go into, and I'm going to put a time limit on this. We're going to go into a 10-minute executive session to,
Personnel.
I'll make the motion.
What are we going for?
Now,
Personnel.
going to executive sessions for personnel.
Basically, it's to get everybody on the same page.
Yeah.
About what we're gonna be doing in the next hour or so. While we're asking questions and interviewing you guys.
not interviewing, answering your questions. Motion's been made. John, did you second? John seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Can I make a request that we ask Mac Newitt to stay in?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Mac, if you wouldn't mind staying in, if I can ask the other four of you to step outside. Thank you. And like I said, we're gonna put a time limit on it, so we're not here all night, so.
We got two things.
To go out of executive session and there is no
Action.
action taken.
Barry. You weren't being recorded. You need to do that again.
Oh.
Yes.
Thought it said recording.
It was recording.
I'll make a motion to go out of executive session and there was no action taken.
I second it.
Discussion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Yeah,
I am
she had it halfway
John.
before.
We're gonna skip previous minutes and finances. We'll cover that at the end since our visitors are here and we were. Sorry, I'm gonna skip previous minutes and finances till the end since our visitors are here and we've already made them wait 10-15 minutes, so. As I said before, this isn't an interview. I know there are some questions, at least I've heard throughout the town that there are some questions about the position and what all is entailed. This is a time for anybody who's interested to ask clarifying questions. And if you haven't already, turn in your applications for us to look at. And I believe what we're thinking is that next week we would do interviews face to face, not on camera. That's private. That's so. If anybody has any questions or comments, hop up here, hit the green button. And state your name and ask your question. Somebody's got to be the first one. There we go.
Push the button that says push. It's your first test. It's your first test on following directions.
Just inquiring about insurance
Okay.
and numbers,
Okay.
basically.
Yep.
Always free to ask.
Yep. So at this time right now, our road crew is offered a single plan.
Yeah.
At an 80-20 split. 80% paid by the town, 20% paid by the employee. Complete transparency, we are looking at the plans and premiums to see if with the budget that we have, if we can do better for our employees. But no decisions have been made at this point. That's been kind of a discussion that we've definitely been having.
So.
A number, hourly wage, depends on qualifications. As we stated in the thing, class B is a definite. Class A is a bonus preferred. Yep.
I was under the impression that it was mandatory that somebody got their class A. Are we still waiting on?
Yeah, what the thing was, would expect you to work towards a class A. Reason being, we have the excavator. We are getting, we're looking at trailers to haul that. And it'd be really nice. It's kind of a necessity for anybody to be able to jump in the truck and haul the excavator where needed to be. We can get away with it. The only time getting away with it isn't so hot is
Out of town.
Well, yeah, out of town, or that time it's not strapped down to code and it slides off and, oh, well, you don't even have a licensed driver hauling that piece of machinery. Who gave them the okay to do that? And then they go back to the town garage and nobody's licensed. Can't really say, oh, we didn't know at that point. So, in my world, it's better if everybody's qualified instead of one or two, you know? If I'm qualified, but Lance is driving, guess who's gonna take the heat? I am, because they're not gonna risk losing to Lance. You know, so.
I was just trying to define it for you.
Yep. I think we give a range. Did we give a range on the? No.
But we can do that, during the interview when we get looking at your experience and such.
Okay. So the job, you don't have a title for the job, it's just the.
It is, yeah, it is, roads crew, not the foreman, it's just, town road crew. We do have a job description. I don't have it with me here tonight because I don't have my, computer. So it's on my Google, it's on my Google Drive. I'll, Mac, do you have a copy of that? I know,
That's all right.
no, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure. Okay,
Right, I was just trying to define what's asking me, what I can get, that's it.
basic road maintenance, snow plow operation. That would be my once or twice.
Okay.
Chainsaw work and shovel work.
And I got.
No, push it again. He didn't turn it off. There you go. You're good.
Dan Marcotte.
So, what's the time frame for a position that you need? You're looking for somebody tomorrow, next week, first of the fall? What's the time frame to fill that position?
Like, for necessity standpoint, as was mentioned in one of our previous meetings, Dan Marcotte has resigned as of. Can't resign if you haven't been hired. Dan Florian has resigned as of September 1. Retired.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good point.
That's Thursday. Ideally, this was filled August 1, so that somebody had time to work with Dan to figure out, get the run of the mill type of deal. So we're gonna look over applications. We're gonna set up interviews, and we got a little bit of homework to do on some of our stuff on our end. But ideally, we could be hiring within, I would say, before mid-September. And that would be full-time, permanent position.
But I would say as far as on the job, you'd be looking for somebody at least by mid-October.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously, some people.
Right.
may
Sure,
not-
that's.
may not-
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so basically it would be filling Dan Florian what he did.
Yes.
Right.
But you would do throughout the course of the day, for the town, and he tells me that was what you would expect your.
Well, the naps aren't a part of the job. You're gonna have to do it more than.
Yeah.
Dan used to take naps accordingly.
So what's what are the general, say, hours and work schedule for that job?
Max, that may be a better question for you.
That's about it.
And we're on call, I guess we're on call in the winter time. Right. But I'd say on call like
I think
24 hours a day.
That's the rest of the road.
that we have to be within, yeah, and I think, Mike, that's what, October 1 to, I think we basically do it like when Mac carries the pagers, when we would consider you the on call.
We don't have to be on call. Yeah. Right?
I gotta
The
remember.
way it's all worked out, we don't have to show up because.
It sounds like you may have other questions.
We can't, we're not in the summertime, so you can't come to me and tell me to show up to work, right?
No, but I could probably terminate the position shortly after.
And so there's, so how much of the position roughly is like a, you know, it was the equipment operation, stuff like that? I mean, is it divided up to people, and there's specific people that do specific things in the job? Or is it as everybody's kind of trained on all the same stuff, so everybody can fill whatever position needs to be done?
I will answer this to the best of my ability. Marky and Mac jump in at any time. My understanding is, where your best fit. So if you have excavator experience and you can run it better than the other two guys on the crew, that would be part of your responsibilities. If, you know, if you're there in the truck 24/7 and that's where you like to be and that's what you do, there it is. If you're the youngest guy on the crew and they need you in the ditch chucking rocks out, that's what you do. That's the way I understand it. I mean, I haven't been on the job. I've been on the job one day with these guys, but as far as like their day-to-day operation, and I feel like it's an all hands on deck. Everybody fills in where they can and where they're best suited.
Sure. And there'd be training on unfamiliar areas.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Equipment, yes, the more you wanna run equipment, the better.
Enjoy the dump truck unless you follow that day, that's.
If they don't truck, yeah.
Yeah.
Or loader grader and stuff like that. It's good. Loader, you gotta kind of listen to something and say, okay, this is how you do it, and we'll show you how to do it. And if you wanna take your own approach on it, that's fine. But
the expectation would be that somebody would show you the ropes and
oh, definitely, yeah. If you know what we're doing. Yeah.
Okay, and as far as numbers, because that would be something we got discussed in the interview.
Yep.
So I think that's pretty much. On average, say if you're talking a certain wage or a salary, can you on a typical winter, can you expect a fair amount of extra work in the winter? And is there a minimum that you can kind of
So I think,
bank on?
I think when we budgeted this, when we do the budgets for the town crew, we figure it on, was it a 48 or a 50-hour week, Mac? I think it's either.
We go get a town report.
I think it's budgeted on a 48-hour week. It wouldn't break it down though.
No, but
So that,
an idea,
you know,
I did last year.
in the summer, you're not gonna get, you typically wouldn't get a 48-hour week, but in the winter time, it could be 60 hours, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
In winters don't go by where you don't make some extra, I would think. Right?
I've never plowed snow, but I would assume no.
Okay.
I know I'm always complaining about the roads when I'm driving the bus, so I'm assuming they're having bad days eventually. I don't live in Bakersfield. I'll make that a point. I do not drive on the Bakersfield roads when I'm complaining.
Anyway, I think that those are just the basics.
To give you a rough estimate, last year, the salaries for the 3 employees ranged from low 50s to low 60s. Okay,
Includes time and a half, you know, overtime.
so that was what was actually paid out.
Okay.
For salaries last year. It's in the town report. You can get exact numbers.
And I think,
Page 22.
and I think if you ask Mark, he just made a comment about that too.
We have a little bit of variation, so it might be.
Yeah.
It might be a couple thousand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Light's still on, you're good. Yep.
Jason Young. Some questions on my part is I've spent a lot of hours in a truck, but not on the road and no CDL. How would I come about getting the CDL? Cause I wouldn't mind it, I would like to get one. Just wondering what you guys feel about it.
So one of the, as one of our requirements was a class B, we haven't really discussed an applicant without a license. I can tell you the procedure because I'm well versed in that. Now in the state of Vermont, it is mandatory that you go through a school.
Okay.
So pro driver training, not gonna, lie, that's where I teach. They're pretty awesome down there to work with. And I believe it's just shy of $6,000 for a class A. It's at your pace. So if you go down there with some experience and you know what you're doing and you can operate a machine, you can move through it a little quicker than somebody who's never seen a truck, and we get all ends of the spectrum there. But yeah, it's running just shy of $6,000 and for a class A. Yeah, they offer a class B, but anybody who goes down for a license goes for a class A. It's
Not
just,
much more to get to class A.
no, yeah.
In fact, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do an A.
Right. Mac, or all of our, not all of our trucks are automatic, are they? No, so 2 are automatics. It will be an automatic, okay. So theoretically, you could get the automatic restriction. The only problem with that would be is if we ever had to have, another truck to replace ours for a period of time, or you wouldn't be able to operate that, but it is.
Class A now,
Is everyone class A now? No,
so we're looking for everybody to.
we will, yeah, that'll be something to talk about it. Yep.
Isn't
Yeah.
Dan the only class A?
Dan is the only class.
Was the only class A?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Dan, you can't retire.
That's right.
So,
Dan, you gotta come on.
If that answers those questions, and I can give you the contact information if that's something you're looking for.
If someone was hired that didn't have one, is there any chance that a portion of that could be paid? Or is that
That's
on your own?
That's a good question that we have not thought about, to be honest with you, 100% transparent. We have not thought about that at this point.
We've never faced that particular situation, so.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's something we will have to discuss.
I'm used to moving trailers,
Yep, yep.
a lot of them.
Yeah, and I mean, the A portion of this is not, you're not gonna be hauling trailer a lot.
No.
It's just the fact that there's one less thing that we've got to worry about as a town, hiring somebody to move something around or anything like
Last
that.
thing we'd need is DMV pulling up behind them on 108 or 36 and saying, hey, there's a loose chain there.
Mhm.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, you gotta watch out for yourself on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all I have.
that's it, all right?
And I'm good, I don't have any questions.
No questions? Okay.
Well, you're no fun.
Well, I work for.
What's his name?
First, so I know. How it works.
Yep.
Obviously, by the time of the actual interviews, we'll have some specific answers for some of these questions.
And that's why we needed to hear them first so we can work on them.
There's nothing worse than going into an interview and not having the questions or the answers for the questions. This is the type of position where you guys probably have more questions for us than we're gonna have for you. So
Yeah.
it's good to get those out there. I know, because everybody have our contact information, either here through the email or personal to anybody here.
Even a rock through a window.
Yeah, his windows. Yeah, but if you have any other questions that pop up or, you think about or a question, don't hesitate to reach out and, send it to us. At least then we can think about it here. You probably will not get an answer from any one of us because that would not be very professional on our part. But if you have a question, ask us. We'll put it in the question box and make sure that it's answered for the interviews. All right.
Closing on Friday, right?
Yes, I believe, yep, I think applications close on Friday, so. Yeah, hopefully we'll see everybody in the next week is what we're hoping. Any questions here for any of our applicants out there? Not that we can really, yeah, we don't have a closing date.
Feel free to come up with any more,
Oh, right.
anything that you want
Yeah.
to find out for you.
Well, I think it says
Because,
open until filled.
We honestly don't go through this process very often.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
That is a good thing. Take that into consideration. Great. I don't have anything else. So you're more than welcome to sit in and watch the rest of the circus here. I'm not sure. But
And only the attendees.
have a good one.
Thanks,
Good night.
guys.
Mark, just because you're out there, way out there, do you foresee any issues with upgrading to an A? Is that something you're not getting an A? Well, if we need you to haul the excavator.
I'm good with that. And I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I'll be fine with it. Every time you get a man, I'm done.
Okay. That was a simple question.
Yeah, it is. I
Okay.
just don't know why we do. I know, but I just don't understand it.
What?
Because we can't move the excavator without it.
Right.
How would you move the excavator?
But what if that guy's sick,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You need the backup plan.
We're moving it for 20 years and not have a home.
Yeah.
It only takes one to cut.
And all that good stuff.
And for that matter, don't get a trailer and pay somebody to move it.
That is an option.
That's something we've
No,
considered, yeah, honestly.
I would say.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I used to drive a truck over to Birch here, pick up Bob Jarvis's trailer,
Yeah.
drive it back, move the excavator, and it's just, that's what we always did.
Good.
Back in the Mac, no, guys, we didn't have to have CDLs.
Right. Right. Just, yeah, just,
So I know, Birch did this.
We didn't even have to take the course, did we, Matt?
I'd have to pay $6,000 to get one?
no, that would be an upgrade. That's significantly cheaper. That would be just discussed. That would be discussed.
We're gonna say, I paid for it.
Hell no, right?
Drivers pay.
Not necessarily. What you could do, Mark, because you already have a B, is you could go for a B with an A with a restriction, which would just mean that you could haul just pin rich trailers.
But I still have to go drive a truck to the fair.
You could take our truck.
I thought I had to get.
No,
So to get a CDL, you have to go to the class.
correct. You could go, you would have to. You would have to go to the class, yes.
Okay, so.
As somebody,
Then we could use our truck.
Yeah.
your truck and your trailer.
Yes.
To go down there and take the test. Okay. All right. That was there any others on visitors? No, just Mark?
Well,
So.
we did have, Linda wanted to bring up one thing
CDL?
about Saturday.
Eligible CDL, right?
Yeah. They
So
both
we
have
can
class
require
Bs
them to go to CDL.
I mean, I could bring it up for her, but
theoretically.
You got to, you need a backup.
yeah, you need a backup.
Yeah.
Linda, do you want to bring up what you mentioned regarding Saturday?
Sure. Saturday's going to be the dedication of the roadside marker at the Bakersfield Historical Society. And we would love to have a selectman there to speak on behalf of the town. It's kind of a big deal. These historic markers are given to us by the Vermont Historic Preservation Division. And there will be a representative from their office at that dedication. It'll be short and sweet, and then there'll be a ice cream social in the building after the event.
I have a wedding in Maine, so I can't make it.
No.
I'm working Saturday.
What time was it?
2:00,
2:00.
yes.
2 PM. I'm sorry, I would do it, but I really have a wedding. I'm leaving.
Oh,
Could be cutting it close.
you know what the worst part is I can sit here and talk to this mic all day long. You put people in front of me and I start stuttering and we're gonna have to talk about that one. I'm gonna talk to Lance about that one. Okay.
We'll try to identify a resource, Linda.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, Linda.
Let's go back to previous minutes.
All right, previous minutes. Was there any?
No,
John had nothing.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the meeting on the 14th of August. There was nothing to correct, okay? The 14th of August with no amendments.
Can you add in?
Yes, okay. As well as the 22nd of August meeting minutes as well.
I will second that.
Motions?
I will second that.
There we go. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Terry, pass the warrants down, please. If you're
Oh, yes.
Finances are, yep, in works, and we will discuss those later. That into, I did not do this at the very beginning of the meeting, and I should have. At the end of board business, we need to add an executive session. Or, sorry, if somebody could make, I guess that's a motion.
Do that at that point.
But I decided
Yeah,
that if we needed to, we would announce it. At that, because you don't have to warn an executive. session.
Okay,
Yeah, we gotta go to the executive session for.
Yeah, you don't need to warn it.
that would
Give a reason, a legitimate
Well,
reason.
finances.
Finances go on.
Well, that would be breaking the executive session rules.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I didn't-
it is vague.
But we're not going into it now.
We're not going into it right now. You're correct. That is at the end of board business. Roads. Mac, come on. Mac, you can come up too if you want. There's 2 seats. There, it's already on.
I already had Dan up here once, you're not gonna. Got the excavator Wednesday. We played with it a couple times, a couple codes got thrown up, so. They didn't come up and look at it. I don't know what they even decide.
What?
Did they say what they were, Mark? Oh, you didn't?
They knew it. You know,
Something's.
information up there, something about the motor maybe. Mike told us to just turn it off, turn it back on, go the way.
It's always good with a brand new
Yeah.
machine. Let's not troubleshoot. Let's just power it off and power it on.
Pick them up on Friday.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I find it interesting that these warnings or idiot lights are sending a signal all the way back to the dealership.
Yeah.
And they know about it before we do.
He said it was probably just a loose wire or connection or something, is what he said, but
Loose nut behind the wheel.
yeah, there's no wheel there.
Sticks.
The boys, since I was not at work today, just started putting up the sand piles.
Are you working that in the pit, Mark? The excavator?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yep. How's it going so far? Gonna work out though? I mean, that's everything we need it to be. Okay, good,
Kathy did put it on insurance today.
good.
One key, possibly one key is in the folder, I believe, Pam?
I know the invoices, I mean, I made a.
I think she had it. With the warranty.
Was the invoice, we did do it on this warrant, correct? Yeah. Okay. Anything else on the reports? We're getting I was gonna say, it's kind of rained all week, yeah. The grading wasn't really an option. Are any of the roads bad,
Not terrible, he's been hitting.
where bad spots?
Random when it drives.
Yep.
And I did put up the last 2 crosswalk signs at the golf course. I
Excellent.
went down and Matt gave me the material to, we took care of it.
Perfect.
Right. Yeah.
So if that's good, if the road reports are good, I'm gonna jump from A to C on this.
There's something else on the road.
How's FEMA? Is FEMA down? Yeah, still working. Okay.
I forget something.
Yeah. Complaint from
Couldn't have
Rose,
been that important.
Not that I've heard.
is it in there?
I haven't gone through here.
I was asked today and I was like.
Oh. Yeah, Granger's called.
Oh, yeah. That could be collected.
There is a permit.
Yeah, there's a permit.
Yeah.
They told me to dig it up, see what it looked like, and we'll go from there. I said, we're getting an excavator next week. He didn't wanna wait. He said, I'm gonna do it. I said, okay, you do it. And then he said, I'm gonna do it. If I need a culvert, I'm gonna go buy one. Okay, if that's what you wanna do, you know,
Yes.
like Mark said, you can't own driveway and say, my culvert's no good, you're gonna change it tomorrow.
Correct.
I wanna do it myself, because at the time, we didn't have the equipment.
Right.
And you can't, I mean, we've had them in the past that had a hole in the middle, threw a rubber mud flap in it, changed it when we was out on that road, and that just seemed a little excessive too.
Oh, he's actually sent a bill.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Oh, did you?
I didn't see the,
It's in there. So.
oh, there it is.
Yep. I mean, we're financially responsible for the culvert.
If we got a policy.
We,
What?
Policy,
it's in the,
get an access policy, you say, you put it in.
you put it in, we're responsible for it after that. It's not written. This one?
I've been looking at a lot of policies.
Uh,
50% of the towns will maintain the culverts after they were put in by the landowners. The other 50% don't. It's just about.
I thought that ours were,
We've kind of gone by that, but, you know, again, it was if we had the equipment to do it.
well, we obviously didn't have the equipment. It's not fair to bill us for the equipment at all.
We've never written a policy up about it.
And yeah, I've had people ask me, they're like, hey, you gotta look at my culvert. Look at the culvert. You know, it's fine. No, you gotta look again. Like, no, what do you mean I gotta look again? So it's, then it's my judgment against theirs and they want a new culvert. It's just like.
And
Okay.
the biggest thing to worry about there is if you get 20 culverts that are bad on driveways, you're talking
A lot of money
serious.
and a lot of time.
That should be a policy that should be maybe made and maybe we. And probably 200 driveway culverts in town. And. Probably. a good
Yeah, I saw
idea.
that.
Definitely need to change it.
Yeah, I know what this one is.
Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Right.
What property are we talking
It's on Witchcat Road, Granger Hangline's property to his house and sugar house.
I mean, modern's.
We can always invite him in.
Was watching.
It wasn't crashed, the bottom just rotted out.
Yeah.
I-
It's not a major, you know, it was one of those things, yeah, probably should be replaced sometime. It wasn't urgent.
What's your complaint?
The worst part of that, all the water comes down the driveway.
One of those. Okay.
It's like,
It doesn't have a low spot or a water bar before the road, the town road.
No, it's kind of.
I say we invite him in.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, Well, I think the problem is here is that without a policy in place, there's no way to definitively say one way or the other. I saw the post on Facebook because I am friends with the landowner. wasn't a complaint. It was just,
No.
hey, I dug up my ditch today and some pictures of the work. There was no complaints, there was no bashing of the town on his end. I'm not gonna say in the comments there wasn't, but that's not something he did. That piece of paper over there that's a can of worms. I understand the frustrations that said land, or who spoke his name? Sorry. Okay, I understand the frustrations that Mr. Heinlein has. But if everybody in town got mad and ripped up their property and replaced it and then expected the town to pay for it, we'd be broke. That's how it is.
I was advised to wait until we had an excavator, and is witnessed by our town employees, it was not an emergency. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Heinlein's access road was causing damage to our town road.
So, I think the right thing to do is to invite Mr. Heinlein to the next meeting. His contact information is on this paper here. And discuss the situation then. But at this time, I do not see us paying for any repairs.
I think we need to work on a policy to put this to bed so it's black and white.
Absolutely.
The policy also needs to include for an individual within town, a landowner, if they feel they got slighted by, I'm just using this as an example, they got slighted by Mac, that what's the next thing? They should be coming to the select board and talking to us before they make action. That's my point.
Right.
And that needs to be a policy.
And just so you know, Mac, there was absolutely zero on there about, there was no slander of the town or anything like that. There was nothing like that on Facebook. I mean, yes, so if we could extend an invitation to the next meeting to discuss this, we will keep this in the mail. Those,
Add that policy to our to-do list.
I just looking at this,
Can I see that from
Yes.
Ranger?
this right here, yeah, Terry's reading it. Just looking at this, the letter from Granger. The problem is that when it's not brought in front of us. And this is landowners out in public and the town crew who's here. If it's not brought in front of us, it's basically a he said, they said, and it turns into a finger pointing competition. And quite honestly, that's no way to solve anything. It's got to be brought to the select board to handle the situation. If Mr. Heinlein says that culvert has failed, Mac says otherwise, or Mark says otherwise, since Mark was the one that did the inspection. If he disagrees, then he needs to come to the select board at that point. That should also be put in the town policy, is how disputes are handled.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just repair something and expect of it.
You can't commit a bill to the town without first coming to the town and asking for the payment. It is, in that factor, I would like to change all the windows in my house and build the town. You can't do it. You just can't. They didn't get prior approval for this. He should have come, voiced his concerns to the select board, and then turned around.
But we also should have never told him to do the work.
He told him to do the work.
He told him.
Yeah.
That's that thing.
This is the whole.
No, but I'm saying that's,
Read the letter.
yeah, I'm just saying that's why it's important to bring it here
There's
first.
another policy, you need a permit for working the right.
Correct,
There's another.
which is,
We do not
that's,
need I've seen, you don't need a permit.
I thought that was state mandated.
That was through the state, and it's in the orange book.
And I think it's.
If it's state mandated, then you have to have a permit to work in the town right away.
Yeah, because the town signs.
That's why people come here to get permits to drill under the road, you know, when they were putting in electrical on King Road.
I didn't drag that. Loggers can get.
Same reason farmers, I guess, because it's all they have to do to say, I'm a farmer, and it covers under ag.
That one need to be addressed probably the same time we do the access permit, because now that we've got an excavator, if you're ditching along, like we were on East Bakersfield, that time you came to a culvert that's failing, non-permitted, we took it out.
Yeah.
We gotta know what, are we supposed to take it out? Are we supposed- I mean,
Well, my thought there is, if it's an ag related and it's still being used in an ag setting, you know, I mean, if it's an active log job and they're in and out and you're ditching down through, you're probably gonna leave it. If it's a log job that hasn't been touched for 20 years and the culvert's failing, it's coming out.
Are they required to remove those at the end of their job?
Typically,
When I'm asking.
typically it does happen. Typically, the logger will remove the culvert. I mean, unless they've built a landing big enough that they intend on coming in.
They plan on coming back in 2 years.
Yeah, we need policies. There's a ton of road policies that we need, to make sure that not only the taxpayers are covered the way they should be, but also that we are covered the way that we should be. I mean, you're right, Mike. We had this discussion the other day.
In roads, people put driveways in without permits.
Yep.
And don't do a problem.
I would ask this of you though, Mark. When we do work on those, could you be present? Your input is valued.
Well, yeah, no, there's plenty of policies out there that you can pull right out online, it's pretty simple. Look it online, you can put access policy there.
Well, what they should, I mean, if you find one that's not permitted, it should be brought to us so we can send a letter to whoever it is it's.
The problem is you'd have to come back, look up all the access permits, find out if it's permitted. Yeah.
If you're listed on the excavator, and you're going along, you know, you might have to like read that line item right there.
Yeah.
Especially if it's failing.
So, I mean, there's a problem. I mean, the guy's adding in profit and overhead. He's adding in a 10% profit and overhead. He never came to speak to us. You know, I understand that he spoke to both you and Mark and the conversation about it being plugged. I don't know the validity of, did you tell him to dig both ends up? Did you tell him to take it out and shake it?
Mhm.
Yes, we did.
Well, and put it back in? The thing is he, I mean, you know, he's treating this as if this excavator or whatever he had to rent,
No.
Yeah, shake.
but he's treating it as if without it.
Yeah.
And he never came to us.
I mean, you.
No single
Say.
town member or homeowner should incur an expense to the town that hasn't been approved by the select board.
I'm not gonna tell you,
I don't expect to be reimbursed for
if
it.
you dump it down the middle of the town garage parking lot, which if you're gonna pay for that, I don't think I can put it in the middle of the driveway. I mean, I'm sorry, that's the way I feel about that.
Well, it could probably join the boneyard of other ones that we have at an undisclosed location.
We should send that
Just-
Sacramento, get some money.
All the way through.
Yes, we're not, I am not denying it any way, shape or form that culvert
Plenty of
needed.
To go across the road.
Yep, I don't deny that fact either. What I think we can all agree upon, which is what we're trying to do here, we can all agree that
It should have been handled differently.
it should have been handled differently.
There's a problem.
On both ends, you know, when he came to you with the complaint, you guys with the complaint,
Who's the road?
right here,
Okay, what authority does he have?
he has the authority to,
Authority.
So.
he has the authority.
But there has to be,
So
to
I,
be fair to the individual, there has to be a way that they can also bring that forward to the board if they had a.
so
They're
in,
being cheated. Use an example, they're being cheated, they have to have that avenue, and we're probably gonna go with it.
I think what you're asking, Mark, is if he makes a statement and it's not agreed with, is it okay that you just dig it up and send us a bill? No, absolutely not. I agree with you 100%. If you make a call, they come to you, you know, and you say, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You're the road crew. It then goes to the foreman. The foreman goes, he says, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it'll survive until we can get it replaced. That's his call, okay? If they disagree with his call, it is then their position that they would come here. And then Mike is here. Everybody has the same information in front of them. And we're all talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's,
Which policy, there will be no misunderstanding.
right, and I think the problem is
You can't tell people to do it.
that's his burden.
Tell him.
He just said he did.
Told him to dig up each end.
And
That
shake it
ends.
out.
Yeah, told him it was mine here.
And
He said, well, it's
when he,
failing, and great, if you don't like it, take your action down there, they blow them down. That's what you want to do.
that way he
The
was,
water was still running through it, there was no problem on the side. So I was just like, if you don't like it, go for it.
and then when he came down there, he just said, well, I'm gonna dig it tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'll pay for, I'll pay for mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
if you want to dig it.
this.
That's exactly it. That's the finger pointing with.
Sorry, you know, but put the stuff back on the road and come and see us and say, okay, my culvert's no good. He could have showed it to me, I mean, he didn't, you know. You know, worry about the culvert, I sound a little exaggerated price.
Yeah, like.
Because, yeah, because we can get better deals on culverts because we buy it at a municipality rate and without a go, and we have.
We have some down there, if you come, you know, you did it on a Saturday.
I'm not saying that, yeah, I'm not disagreeing that this,
So who owns the culvert?
so the initial culvert. Going back to the way I've understood it from generations before. The initial culvert is put in by the landowner. Okay, so you have an access road that comes off of a town road. You incur the cost of that initial installment.
Based on our specifications.
Based on our specifications, which are in our permitting process. Once that's in there, if there are any issues with that culvert, if that culvert fails, it is up to the town to replace it. Now, you cannot come in on a Monday. I mean, if your culvert collapsed and it's gone, that's a different story. That's an emergency replacement. If you come in and say, my culvert's plugged, it is up for the town crew to go out, look at it, make their best judgment on their experience as a repair. Now, if they say that culvert will last until we can get a machine and a piece of equipment and culvert to replace it, that is their call. That's their authority, you know? We have the excavator now. Would that culvert have survived until this weekend or next week? Absolutely. No question in my mind.
I don't know.
That's the way I've always understood it. It's that
It wasn't surviving anything.
it's flowing through it. If that's on the bottom, it doesn't matter.
Get dug up.
So I mean, like, look at this hat, for example,
Why?
okay? This hat right here, if you,
Where we might not pay him but we should pay him for the culvert.
We can give him one of ours.
well, that's the other problem is he went off half-cocked and bought a culvert out of anger at Bates. We don't buy
I
like
don't
that.
think it was out of anger. But let's invite him in.
Let's invite him in. That's the
look
thing.
at both sides.
It could be fair. Yeah.
I mean, if he was gonna do all the work himself and had come down and said, hey, I need a culvert. There was probably ones there that we have that we could have replaced that with. That would have been to our specs, that would have been, you know, Mac could have gone up and been like, hey, I appreciate you doing this work. We could have got to it, but this is the specs, here you go. And it could have been done and this all could have been avoided.
So the reality is this, Mac, is the covert to our specs, the one he put in,
It looked like he'd done a good job.
is the covert material and all to our specs.
It's a 15-inch plastic, which is more than enough for that. It just goes to the top of a little rise, so that's why there's no water there, and the rest of it, like Mark said, is coming down the driveway. And down that way.
And that is a sugar, he does have a sugar house up there, I don't think he used the high performance plastic.
I was gonna say it was a black plastic. I saw that. And so,
Sugar houses is better to have steel one because.
so
Green will probably crush that in the next 2 years, going south.
depending on how heavy he's loading, yeah, there's, some of them aren't built for that kind of.
He's got a single axle truck, right?
So do we have a galvanized indoor metal one that's proper for that spot?
Don't
In our
have
stock?
outside down there, we have galvanized, because we've been going back to galvanized, because we've been having problems with the plastic ourselves.
Right.
Crushing and doing weird things. The high performance is better, but in a case like Mark said, in a case like that, a sugar house, or if you can't get 18 inches of burial, you can break her up with steel pipes.
I
I
think-
think brought out 30 odd years, but
Yeah, I think the other thing is, when he comes in and talks, we should actually probably talk to him about the piece he put in, which is gonna be substandard for his. What he's gonna use driving over it. I mean, honestly, and we should probably provide the proper.
Is it actually substandard?
well, it's the regular black plastic cover. It's not.
Does the access permit specify?
I,
think it does.
my guess would be the access permit's old enough that we didn't specify,
I don't think they had plastic cover there.
probably not.
It's strictly-
So, yeah, we'll invite him in, we'll, I mean. Yeah, we'll invite him in and we'll discuss this further. I don't think there's any decisions that can be made tonight on this.
Agreed.
Because honestly, my only concern is that it does break in 2 years and then they come back and go, you gotta replace the culvert again. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
At that point, we will have a plan in place to make sure it's done correctly.
So in the, no, you get a policy.
That's what I meant, a policy.
In that policy, define failure,
Right,
because if you don't, then it opens it up to, and
Right.
like you say, that was.
Leave the plan. We got plenty. Well, I wanted by your house, we can't find the end of it.
Oh, my.
Put a little bit of water into it, but
yeah, it's, you know, the bigger one's further down. It just runs to the bigger one.
Well, you still haven't found the end of that one?
you want a piece of equipment, so-
Really, just need to put-
I don't want to dig it in my yard. That's what he wants to do. He wants to dig up my begonias.
Plus we got a call.
Yes.
Freaking go and do it, goddamn.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Anyhow,
John,
yes,
I'm gonna ask you, have you received the study
I
from?
have not. It's not finished being compiled. I did request it.
The box was still there.
Yeah.
It went past Wednesday. It was supposed to be going on
Yeah.
Wednesday. I think it went into
Yeah.
Thursday. I don't think they had
I think
time.
it was gone this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, so they didn't have time to compile it. I'm gonna expect well, I expect it to be done by next week.
Okay,
I did have someone from the state contact me. I thought I wrote my name in here. I didn't. They want a copy of the report too, because somebody called the state. Someone's called the state and made a comment to them, and this individual, Stephen something, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he's with the roadside, wanted a copy of that report. Just FYI.
it's public knowledge, correct?
Yep.
There you go.
That will be, yeah.
Yep. And again,
Where did you go?
the study is to help. It does not determine whether or not we change the speed limit.
Right, it's to
It's
request made.
Documentation. Yep, it is strictly documentation.
Right.
Okay. Class 4 roads reclassification and trail discussion. So after our last meeting. Well, first of all, we got some other information at that meeting that I think kind of affects the decisions that were made on the class 4 subject. But I also received some concerns and complaints about repairing the road. I have done some research. I looked at our orange book and Mark, just so you're aware, there is an updated version online. States, yep,
Get it to open.
huh?
I could not get that message.
Well, we open on a PDF, so if you're using your phone, it might not work. Yep.
Okay,
But I would almost download that and put that as a as a emblem right on your screen down there. That way you guys can access that anytime. Did you already do it? Perfect. Yep. I looked there. I looked through the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. I typed in Class 4 road. I cannot find the statement that was at the bottom of Mr. Luno's paperwork anywhere.
This paperwork.
Is-
David?
Well, is it outdated or was it an article that may be discussing future plans? So I think Lance, you requested this little packet here. Okay, so Lance has requested this packet, which has a bunch of Class 4 information on it. This
Thank you.
first one, yep. This first one is just policies. It's a bunch of policies that were compiled by a St. Michael's college student by the looks of things. The second one, and I did look through these the other day when I was up here. Can't remember what I was up here for, but Chapter 10 Highways and Bridges is from the Selectboard handbook. And is this Mac info sheet? That's not you, Mac, is it?
No.
That's just something, it's just ironic that it showed up that way. All right. Oh, Municipal Assistance Center, short for Mac. Gotcha. Discusses some of the information on Class 4 roads. Now, in my research, at the state level, I also did some looking for roads policies for our town. Any roads policies that were in place before basically the 5-man board was assigned are non-existent. I couldn't find them online. Whether or not they're documented in our minutes from previous meetings. The only thing I could find is in the town plan, which is a guidance document that the town comes up with. The town planning commission works jointly with the select board, correct? With input from the select board. It does say in our town plan that Class 4 roads receive little to no maintenance. Everything I found in the state said that Class 4 roads are to be maintained to the benefit of the municipality, or, and I'm not going to word this exactly, but basically if there was an excess of public request. One parcel that's on the end of a Class 4 road, I do not see as an excess of public request. There is also no benefit to the town of maintaining that road to that standard. As I read through it and in a discussion with Mark, who also did some reading, there is no place where it states a Class 4 road must be passable one season out of the year. That is,
I was unable to find that phrase either.
yep, I couldn't find it anywhere. That is, as Mark said, it's kind of not an old wives' tale, but maybe an old man's tale. It's not something that's written anywhere. It's definitely not in our plans. The only documentation of any maintenance for Class 4 roads is in the town plan, where it states little to no maintenance.
There has been a couple of cases that have gone to the Supreme Court, according to the state Supreme Court, according to this document. And but it's very vague in what it's.
So my only concern about that one is that is not an actual state document.
The St. Mike's thing.
Right, this is just the compiled information by, I mean, the way I read it is it's compiled by like a St. Mike's student that did a project on Class 4 roads.
And it basically says you need a policy that defines how you're gonna handle.
Right. I think at this point,
And that it needs to be equally distributed amongst those. So if you plow one road, you should plow all class 4 roads.
correct,
And that's what I think that little challenging board seems to be about.
right, because if we do this maintenance, which, right, then we would have to go through every class 4 road. And Mark, can you remember how many miles of class 4 do we have?
Yeah, 8 or 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was just under 10, I thought, something like that. Exactly.
You know,
And I did receive a couple calls that said, I want mine next. So even when Mr. Luna was here last week, or last meeting, sorry, he did state that he didn't want to cost the town any excess money or problems. And I feel like this is definitely going to. So I think it is in our best interest to adopt a class 4 roads policy sooner than later.
We're supposed to do that the first time they came to us,
That is correct.
when I first got on the board.
How come you didn't remind us?
Didn't do it.
So, well, the thing is, we've talked about all the extras that we could put in there and all this. I think class 4 roads policy could be as simple as there will be no upkeep of class 4 roads. As road commissioner, do you see any issues with that? Plain and simple. Mark, any suggestions?
That was what was told to us when our class 4 road went out there again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Told us 20 years ago.
Yep.
That's what was told to me with my class 4 town trail,
Well, we don't.
then gave to the Tillotsons.
We don't have class 4 town trails.
Part of it was class,
Um,
the other part was trail,
So
because they threw it up.
I'm not exactly sure, but I think adopting a policy is as easy as having a motion and a second during a discussion.
I think you have to actually do the policy.
Yeah.
Have a hearing with the policy. And then adopting the policy. Because you have to give the public a chance to read the policy.
Yeah.
She's correct. So it can be stated though. Right?
But you should have it typed up as a policy. And then brought to the board. And then the board would adopt that policy as first hearing.
Okay. Tammy,
And verify that with our attorney that what we're doing is. We don't want to get in a legal battle over this. You know what I'm saying?
well, I think if you read
At least
this one,
policy that's vetted, I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
I think if
It's
you-
been vetted by another community, I feel comfortable, but just creating one, you want to make sure you're not doing something with the other side.
Oh, yeah, it can be one word in it
Right.
that's gonna.
Yep.
Change the whole meaning of it.
And I think there's one out there, Josh. I thought I saw
there
one.
is.
That was very simple like that. I asked, what does the town of Enosburg have? You know, what Joey has?
I don't know what they have. I didn't look.
I know
at-
they're going through, they're taking a lot of their class 4s and declassifying to a trail now because they're running into the same issues, yes.
What?
What you can do based on this, and I mean, that's the other option.
By the necessity,
Don't really recommend
public
it,
good and convenience.
But they say it's easier to bring it back if you were to need to bring it back.
Along with that, I will reiterate what was said in the last meeting. We also need to work towards not having any class 4 roads. Change all the class 4 roads, throw them up to town trails.
That's the other option, yeah.
That way.
You're
there's no
not throwing it up altogether, you're still keeping it a town.
As a town trail. Yeah.
And there is in the,
There's
in
ways to-
almost every literature that I read, it gave reasons as to why you don't throw them up completely.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
would not throw them up completely.
No,
Yeah.
just
That's
down,
why we
down
didn't skim it, was because you don't know what's
Right.
happening in the
Yeah.
future, but
just
when
down
you get it done,
to
it's done.
the town trail.
Yep. So, yeah, Tammy, if you could look into class 4 roads policies in
Like other
adjoining towns, yep. And bring us some models to look at for the next meeting, so that we could construct a policy to vet and adopt. My
Yeah.
mic wasn't on. Just fix it up. Good there. Actually, in that same token, if you could also look up, oh, what's the word I'm looking for here? Policies on driveway accesses? Huh?
I think the only thing we have written is in the town plan.
Yes, the town plan is the only spot I saw anything on. Yep. Ones to look at, if we have any. I think our policy is only that we have, the initial permit. That'll give us some things to look at, and yeah, on section B of roads on the agenda, if you could just put driveway accesses along with trails. Yeah, if it could read class 4 road reclassification, trail discussion, driveways. Are there any other policies you can think of, Mark, that we should be looking into? And we might as well look at getting as many in as we can, so that there's no more.
Those are the two big ones, class 4 and access.
Yep.
That takes the person to do it. Yeah, it takes that out of the public eye.
Yep, okay. If you think of any more, don't hesitate to send them my way, or to Tammy to have her put them on there too. Any others on roads?
Just a question, we're gonna start grading soon?
So it stops rain.
In between rainstorms.
Yeah,
Washouts, hitting some potholes here and there.
we're losing the edges of the roads on Cat between East Bakersfield and Joyle, or technically. I drove it tonight looking at it on the way because I got some calls and it really is eroding. There's some concerns down on East Bakersfield, condition of the road. I rode it. Yeah, it's got potholes, but some of them are getting big. Same thing, of course, I ride up Cat and Joyle, and they're both getting Cat's getting washboard. It's starting to get, I watched the car bounce itself around the curve. Coming down past Todd Brown's farm. I watched someone bounce around the corner headed towards going off the road. So. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I did from which got to. I'm working with him in between the showers, like, okay.
Yeah.
I try to fix the bad spots, and the other ones that ain't so bad, I leave them. It's like, I'm working with it in the rain and.
Well, that's what I said. Now, just like I said, on Cat, between the two main roads are, from East Bakersfield headed, the sides are eroding.
I can get some weather.
After Tuesday, we're supposed to have 10 days of sunshine.
I thought you were gonna say rain.
See if it happens.
I mean, I could hang my yard.
Spots. Going back to school now, it's gonna get hot.
I got stuck on a lawn at the farm today.
I totally tore up the whole
I
lawn.
had to get the tractor to get my zero turn on.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
No, it's just, you're supposed to stop before you get to that point, like.
I slid down into it. I couldn't, once I started down, I couldn't get
It's
out.
really any more water. It's just,
All right, so no other others on roads.
that's it.
That's it, okay.
So, an email went out from Vera. I don't know if you all had seen it. I did reach out to Alex requesting him to provide his liability insurance. So I'm just waiting to hear back from him.
Okay.
I just sent it today, so I saw her email.
Vera mentioned it to him, but I apologize.
Did she? Then he should be expecting it. Yeah, liability insurance isn't that much. Should already have it, so.
Was that the,
That was the thing that we needed to discuss.
okay, so we don't need to,
I don't think we need to, as long as we didn't mention names.
well, I mean, everybody knows who our,
Right.
A writer is.
We have to be careful because it's a contractor employee class
Right.
that we don't mention. in
Okay,
the open.
all right,
That makes sense?
yeah. But not anymore. Just we hired him in the open, so. I hear you.
true. So that's all you have from MERP? Warrants and reports have gone through, everybody's signed those.
Yeah, I'm thrown for a loop on the carrier bills, just, and maybe you don't know. I mean, they had bills going back over a year that they said wasn't paid. Did you see that? We gotta flip through. It says carrier, it's just a bill.
They put one thing paid and the check number, and that was the bill.
Okay.
There's no more
One of them went back.
written copy anymore. It's all online now.
Yeah.
Right.
It goes down to written version.
Yeah, because one of them went back to July of 2022. I'm like, what? Because it said custodian. I was scratching my head. I'm like, did they misinterpret? road
Okay.
rules? Okay,
Okay.
mail.
Review the mail, we've pretty much gone through the mail. We have some stuff here. Just that, the insurance.
Actually acquired the utility stuff today.
I uploaded it. He sent it to me because it wouldn't let him do it, so I did it.
Mac, by any chance, have you been able to do the stormwater management report for the pit?
Oh, is that the one that wants us to do it online?
Yeah, so it's all been done.
Yeah, quarterly, you got.
Okay.
I just do government pay trying to do it every quarter and.
Yeah.
All it is stating that there's no. Storm water going in the brook and also in the sediment pond and.
I think they still want to make an account with them online. For some reason.
The state's pushing to go away from paper stuff and go to online.
So,
Tell them to set up a decent portal.
so I guess our job at this point then, Mark, would be to ask you to at least look into this and see if it's something that we can set up. I mean,
I'm gonna do some computer classes.
John's on it. John will be down.
I'm off most of the week. so
Yeah.
If you need something, just give me a call.
If he can get it, be able to get in.
I
Yeah,
have some meetings on Tuesday, and
John-
Wednesday,
but
but
John's willing to come down and work with you, he said.
yeah.
No, I did go down there the other day. What were you working on? You were watching, you had a video or something going of how to repair something. Yeah,
There you go.
so I mean.
Yeah.
It's helping them troubleshoot, so well worth it. Yes, that's what Mark says. He files it quarterly, paperly. Paperly? Paperly.
Where's your paper?
Let's go there.
Is he?
Yes, we did we do have to nail that down. I mean, we might as well nail it down during a meeting as opposed to. Let's skip over that. How about Brigham Academy updates?
Brigham Academy update. Invoices totaling $43,000 have been submitted. For. Downloading into the portal, the Gears portal. You ever worked with that? That's a joy.
It is. I loved it. It was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
That's why I gave it back to you.
The. Contracts with Kathy Lavoie, Northwest Regional Planning and. Paul Dreher Design have been submitted to the lawyer and they are in his hands for his review. He has not gotten back to me yet. So.
Okay. So I guess that leaves us with an employee health insurance discussion. Unless there's others on board business.
Are we still doing the executive now that we kind of covered it?
I don't believe we do need to, so we can strike that from our.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
We're done.
We're done.
Sure.
Just said that was it for board business.
Yeah, I said except for employee health discussion.
Ready to go. I was ready to go.
I was giving you a job.
We still have to call for a vote. So this basically. Terry has the options that we can look at now. So we've already come to the conclusion that
So if we did the platinum, it'd be the 2794 times 12.
There we go. I'm glad somebody's speaking my language now.
80%.
For the family plan.
For the family plan.
Okay.
Well, we pay 80%.
Right, so 80% of that. Well,
I'd do the 2794.69 times 12, and then 80% of that is what?
Did you say 64?
9.
Oh.
$27.94.69.
Times 12.
12.
Yeah, that's a family plan.
So that's
Platinum family plan.
yeah.
so the platinum family plan would be
You have to take 80%.
times 0.8. So 26,8. That's what we would be if we offered a family plan.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
$26,829.02.
Or
Plus or minus.
specify, is that total, is that
That's-
town share or is that
That's town share
at 80%?
at 80% for the entire year.
One more time, 20. Wait a minute, what's the 20, what was the total before you get off of there? 26?
$26,829.02.
And just for,
That's that's the town's 80%.
right, and right now we're paying just under 1,000, so we're paying a third of that, right?
Well, no,
Half of that.
half that.
Almost half. So
No. Because if we were paying a half of that, it would be,
13,000.
it would be,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
30.
not-
Yeah. We're paying a third of that.
We're paying-
What you cost on that.
36.
536. 53628. Minus 26829.
I was just gonna do times 0.2,
Oh, yeah.
So that would be their cost.
right? 6,707.25.
So it'd be basically 10% of their.
It would technically be divided by 26, because that's how many pay periods, correct, Matt? 26 pay periods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So divided by 26, then just to see.
257.97.
That's what everybody.
Sure, it's from out the odd checks. They just moved out in the 24.
Oh, okay, right. Yep, you're right.
So,
So it would be 12.
hold on.
279.47.
279.47.
Yeah.
Per
Pay period.
month,
Per pay period.
pay period.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's for platinum.
Correct.
So now the goal is 2,336.54.
Times 12,
Mhm.
28.
80% of that.
Oh, yeah. Times 8, 22, 430, 78. That would be the 80%.
And then do your, yeah.
And the employee.
$5,607.
Along with that, their copay and deductible go up.
Right.
What would the deductible be on them? The deductible, it depends on what you're going for.
What's the difference between the deductibles, Terry,
Platinum and gold.
So
Five hundred.
platinum,
and the gold? Yeah.
you're paying,
I didn't think there was any deductibles on the platinum.
Oh, there is.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Must be.
let's see, medical. I just can't read this thing.
You have the town book.
The what?
So it's gonna be,
I was just curious, like what we paid, because this would have been the year that you and Dan were on it for sure.
800, but if it's a family plan. Out of pocket maximum is doubled for 2-person in family policy, so it'd be
Here's the salary.
3,000.
3K
That's 3,000 out of pocket
for family.
for family.
For the plan.
And how about the gold?
Where it is.
And the gold.
Health insurance.
Gold.
That can't be right.
Well, that can't be right.
2,000.
Well, yeah, if it's platinum, you would be more.
Well, yeah, it would,
It'd be
yeah,
more.
it would be more deductible
As you
because
come down
as you
the
come
plan,
down.
pay more.
The thought,
So out of, for, the gold, it'd be 5,600,
For family,
double that for
Double
family.
that for me.
So
Yeah.
11,200.
so they've got 11,200 before the insurance kicks in and
Yeah.
out of pocket expense.
Yep.
So that's
If they were like if it was like a.
the only thing that's gonna help them with is
Hospital.
a major catastrophic
Catastrophic thing.
Right.
health.
event.
Right. And how much was the 20% on that, Josh?
Sorry, what was the number? Which one were we?
It was, yeah,
I cleared out of that.
No, you would pay 20% of that.
No, that would be the 20%.
Want to know what the fee.
Oh, for the,
That would be the two.
No, yeah.
for the gold was 5,607.70,
Divided by 24, right?
and then divide that by 24 for the pay period.
233.65.
So the difference between the gold and platinum, their share isn't that much.
Where they lose is on what they have to. pay.
Deductibles.
Okay.
Yeah, the deductible,
Yeah.
copay,
Yep.
and they lose greatly.
Yep.
So it'd be more beneficial for the employee, obviously, for the platinum,
So if we did the silver,
but not for the town.
No.
Do you want to hire someone to actually work for us or not?
Well, we don't offer family plan, right?
well, we're looking into it.
I thought the policy stated we didn't.
We don't.
We don't right now,
We just.
but we might in the future.
1 year.
So the 1978-94 is the family for the silver.
1874.69 is what I had.
Whoops, I'm looking at the wrong silver. It's right here. Yep, 1874.69. So
so what's the town portion?
what is that times 12?
Minus 20%.
$22,496.28.
Then take out the 20%.
And then 0.8, our portion 17,997.02. Their portion 4,499.25.
About 20.
4,000 what? Sorry, 4,409.25.
Divided by 24, the payment 187.47.
Which plan was that, John?
That was the silver.
Oh, well.
And I'm gonna ask this again. How much does the deductible go up?
That's what.
That's what they're looking at right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Deductible. How's that supposed to mean? Oh, whoops, I'm looking in the wrong column, sorry. 91.
Ooh. That's for single.
out of pocket max.
No, it's all
is
families.
Double
That's all
for
family.
a two-person
So it's
or
18,
family, so
right?
it's 18.
It's 18, right, 18,000 for two people for family. Good. 18,000 for a family.
For family.
Deductible, yeah.
Okay. $18,000 for the silver plan. So if they have an event,
But you're only paying 187 a pay period versus the, so yeah, it's how you. you're
that's
right.
not how it's gonna happen anymore.
But, yeah, no, I'm just saying it's,
Before their insurance kicks in, they'll have to pay $18,000 out of that.
yes, yeah.
Which is like not happening.
And then,
If you're
and then there's
somebody
a
healthy,
copay.
if you're young and you're healthy and
You got kids.
It's a gamble, I understand, yes.
All insurances are.
I mean, it's the
Quite
same with
frankly,
insurance at work.
We've been spoiled our whole life because Sharon worked the school system, she had Blue Cross Blue Shield, she had great insurance.
Yeah, the teachers is the best policy you get,
I mean, you offer them the three, it's their choice of which
right?
they wanna take. I guess that's how you have, that's the fair way to do it.
You let them go, it's 20%, they pay. So you're giving them like a.
Huge boost.
Well, we don't know.
Right.
I mean, we gotta see because
We're just,
that's a huge change in us.
we're just spitballing right now.
There we go.
$1,200 a year, they're not have insurance, you're gonna give them $20,000 per year.
Changes the whole pay scale.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same anywheres where you don't take insurance. Like we only pay $1,000 if you don't take
They
the
haven't given
insurance.
me anything for not using the company insurance since 2000 or 1993 at Xerox.
Yeah, I didn't get anything either.
Well, we don't know that. We're looking into
When are you gonna decide that?
before we interview.
Yeah.
Cause I was just like, I mean, you guys are really.
I really don't think at this point we can afford to offer family.
It's a lot of money. And guess what? When Mac retires and the next person comes in with a family.
Unless
they'll
we
be one
find
step
it different,
too. So now you went from
Right,
your insurance
unless we offer the.
to
that would be the only one you could do.
maybe you add your wife or whomever, you know? And
Or-
now all of a sudden we're paying the price for another road crew guy in insurance.
Get my insurance paid.
That ain't happening anywhere, Marky, right now. I'm just saying, come to the real world, I have to get my, I have to pay 80% of my insurance per year. Yeah, there are, but
There are some.
some towns are richer than Bakersfield.
But jobs open in Fairfield. There's only so many jobs open in Fairfield. Eventually you gotta go look at if they wanna work somewhere else.
I mean, you didn't.
That's all I'm saying.
Earlier, when we started the meeting, he said most towns are paying around 95.
There's more people,
95%.
more tax base. Enosburg has more people, more tax base.
So we Clark doesn't get what our
Right?
towns get.
We don't have the tax base and stuff to just act like we're Fairfield or.
What about a compromise?
See coming in.
What if we did something like a single plan, 100% or 95%? And if you want a family plan, you have to pay a higher percentage.
Well, you can.
That's okay, because I can bring a child family if I call my own rent. So
Yeah.
my thought.
I'd like to do the HSA plan before,
Yeah, we did.
There you go.
and that might be something we want to go back to looking at if we're gonna offer a family plan.
What do we want to look at?
Because that. They'll be able to use the HSA card for small expenses.
Yeah.
And
I
that's,
thought we had.
that's the day-to-day expenses are what's,
Yeah, it's not, yeah, the catastrophic,
yeah.
but it's the day-to-day stuff, the doctors. And stuff like
But that should be covered under wellness. Yeah, honestly, in almost any plan, you have a wellness, you pay your copay.
Prescriptions and stuff like that.
That's regulated.
Deductibles would be if you were somebody that had a lot of illness. you
Yeah.
Got hospital.
Yeah,
You're still
hospitalization.
paying $40 to go to the doctors.
Right.
But if it was like your,
If you're sick, you
right,
You need surgery. You need
But if
surgery,
it's-
medical.
if it was like a physical, like a mammogram or
Just going to the
That's paid
hospital.
100%. There's no copay.
$6,000. between that and the ER bill,
Oh, there isn't.
not including the surgeries and everything else. 26 grand.
I had to go get fluids once last year. Cost me $30.
Oh, yeah.
That was my-
Oh, yeah.
4 years ago. That ended up being close to me. But
Maybe I thought we crossed off each essay, and I thought
Yeah, it's
we
just-
had it on this
change.
last year.
Somebody was happy to see.
Where did we look
Isn't
at
that
that?
at Vermont?
The HSA was on there.
On here,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not on this one, but
On the old form that Lance has, there is a silver
I'll
CH.
call her and ask her if we can get any of that. on.
Where's that Lance?
It's HSA and. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's on this form, it's CDHP. It's on here, bottom for silver and bronze CDHP,
Yeah,
which can go through Blue Cross Blue Shield or VHC.
You have a silver CDHP on here, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I don't know what that CDHP means.
I mean, just looking at. Like if you were to pay a flat rate. And say that, you know. Say you were to pay a flat rate of. 1,800 a month. Okay. For each employee. Now, that for Mark.
Right.
Sorry, Mark, is it all right if I use you as an example?
Yeah.
So that for Mark would be full coverage. A full platinum plan paid for 100%.
And retro. All the way back.
To rent.
Yeah. retro. I want the money.
No, that doesn't happen.
So I don't understand. Right now, you're hiring a new employee. Why are you willing to do it for them, not willing to do it for me?
We're not willing to do it for them. We are looking into it. We're not saying it's happening.
But
I guess that it would depend on who you want to work with, Mark. I mean, in order to get
You're gonna get a younger guy.
to get younger people in here, there's a lot of them with families. That's why we're looking at it.
I understand that. I just don't understand why. I've been here 20 years and you guys decide to take stuff away. That's what I don't understand. Somebody walked through the door, you know, we'll give them $1,800.
Yeah. I was at IBM 25 years and they took away half of my retirement.
Mark,
That's good. I'm just saying it happens.
Nothing guaranteed in life.
I'm work here the rest of my life. There's other places.
that's true.
You're more than welcome. I'll give you the best information there is out there. If you recommend it.
Hey,
Honestly, Mark, I hope you don't work here for the rest of your life, because that means you died on the job and we don't want that.
Gosh, what are we paying?
At
About 906 a month is what we're paying, we figured out.
was $994.55.
Raise it to 1,000 even.
Well, that's what I was thinking. But see, that's what I was saying, you know, you just say, hey, this is the amount, and you choose your plan.
Yes.
You know, this is what we're gonna put forth, you choose your plan.
Yeah.
And that's it, whether
That's it.
Mark decided.
Get to the other, because I know we had numbers on that before, but it's not on here.
What do we give toward, what's the town share?
Because I tell you, when we. it was a huge savings.
So it's that's the total.
Yeah, I showed you, it was 10,
So-
I did calc, it was just.
Can I ask you a personal question about your paycheck and what comes out for the insurance?
Pre-tax.
200 a month. Okay, that's with the quick math that I just did, that's what I figured too. So I just wanted to make sure it was okay. I said that out.
It's a single,
That's a single.
I'm not, yep, I'm not, yep,
single platinum, right?
correct.
There we go.
It's like, yeah, it's,
I mean, look at that.
the 20% that I came up with is 99, and 45 cents.
Does he have the platinum?
Should be out.
He does, so that's all we.
Yeah, that's good, guys.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, not about.
Hey, money.
Yeah, I hear you.
So you have the non.
Agreement.
Now, that'd be his portion of the, you're talking.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. These numbers are a little higher than what she had there on the sheet.
Yeah.
So it's.
We'll have to do an extra meeting to get this in place.
A year, but that's the thing, like, so not to get too deep into hiring. But what they generally say is when you hire someone, you take their salary and
I'll
almost
save
double
his
it.
account.
That's what it
Eligible. It's up to you.
Insurance, that's what it costs for.
Figured it was 150%.
Like, I know it's on there.
175.
Same thing here.
But I get what you're saying. So anyhow, yeah,
Yeah.
easy, lazy man is double it. You know,
And then you pay whatever the doctors.
that's the key thing.
We could put in whatever they want. They can.
Yeah, we pay you, and then we pay almost that same amount to the government
Doctors.
for you. Congratulations.
That's
You
what
you don't use the insurance.
You gotta pay workers' comp, the other half the social
Like
security.
your healthcare.
Yeah.
It's just the company share that they have to pay for an employee when they come on. So
You guys, you really get into it, they even figure out how much you cost the administrative cost on it.
then they
And
take you out vacation and go, hey, you get 2 weeks, let's just say 2 weeks vacation, that's costing the company. Yeah, it's a whole algorithm that they pump out. But that's the key thing. So when someone comes on and needs a higher level insurance because they have, you know, they want to put their spouse on or a child or a family, that changes the dynamic greatly. It throws it way
So you still have.
out of torque. So
Oh, yeah.
I have to know what I'm saying.
Do you go by
I do.
the platinum?
The reason, Mark, the board is looking at what they're looking at is because there's a fear that we will not be able to find someone without a family plan insurance.
Oh, I see what, okay, so this.
In case you didn't hear that 3 times was thrown out here across the board, that's the fear. I think we interview, we figure it out. We need to figure out something.
This
I mean, if you want to put
are cheaper.
your significant other or whatever on insurance and it's offered, hey, that's awesome. You know what I mean? But there is, my opinion is there should be a base amount that we pay. And, you know, you choose platinum, you don't want to pay your 20%. Like we said, it's about $900. Step down in your plan, you won't have to pay. You can have.
I'll take the $200 in my pocket. I'll just be good. I'll just say I can work.
Yeah, that's my insurance out of it. After a brief conversation, we're saving more.
We did. The problem is the damn state says. we have to
Go
insure.
home, you get along well.
That would be nice. On too much. It is the way these days.
so just throwing things out there, Mark, if the town were to offer $12,000 to an employee, whether it be you, Dan, Mac, whatever, here's your $12,000, you choose your plan. You can put that $12,000 towards, you know, a family plan, a double plan, or whatever, but you're responsible for the rest.
How long is this plan?
No, I'm just throwing things out.
Understand?
I don't know. I'm just throwing this out.
Could be a year.
It could be, could be for money, but I'm just,
The year, it's not compared to the year, if you're looking for another employee, you're gonna have to change it again.
yeah, we are. We'll be looking for another.
They can get another 6.
I mean, would something like that be reasonable from your end?
Didn't have to change every time.
That's the key. You're not gonna get post. But moving forward, if we say here's $12,000 for the year and you choose a plan, single plan for you?
Yeah, no.
No, it's just insurance. It's $12,000 to spend in a year. on insurance.
This is hypothetically.
Well, that's.
I'm just
That's
spitballing,
just-
because I want to get you roused, because that's the only way I'm gonna get an answer out of you.
But Marky,
The brand benefits package.
It's huge.
but Mark, seriously, if you turn around and you say, I don't want to pay the 20%, and we're saying we're gonna pay this level, and you go, well, I don't need platinum, I can go to gold and not pay that $200 a month, isn't that a benefit to you?
No, we'll offer an insurance plan that is, will pay up to $12,000. If you choose an insurance plan that costs $18,000, you're responsible for
Your insurance plan you're currently on, you're paying, we're using you as the baseline, Mark, right? So right now, this is what the town's paying for you, and you're paying $200 a month for the platinum plan.
Yeah.
If you drop down to the gold plan with the same amount of money we're saying we're gonna give you to use towards insurance, not in your paycheck, you would not be paying the extra $200 a month. You would be keeping that money in your pocket.
Or you paying a family plan, $12,000 a year?
Yeah, that's what, that's, I'm just throwing it out there. What do you think?
Well, that's more than what I've been hearing, you're talking big numbers, they're only gonna pay 20% of.
26,000, right? That's.
We're here, we're family plan, and we pay that money.
Okay,
Because
That's the question.
that's the question. That's what I wanted to hear from you.
Oh, yeah. But.
It's expensive. That's that's what I'm trying to get.
$6 a week for just me.
I pay $600 a month for this meeting, and that's a reduced rate. If I make more money, I have to pay 900 and something.
Right.
Yeah, when you're treasurer of the books.
That's what we're trying to get at, is there's no good solution,
It's
you know?
cheap, no matter how you look at it.
They can't physically do it. They wouldn't give you a paycheck.
Not on the salary.
You want Medicaid yet?
Not on salary.
That ain't no deal. We'll get.
But they could if they drop the plan.
160.
There's a plan here that I'm looking at, that's 1,213, well, for them and their children. And children, an adult and children is, there's a plan on here that's $1,279.71 a month.
Yeah, and you pay, what, $8,000?
Nope, 7,100. It's the CDHP bronze. We were just looking at it. 7,100.
I might be able to keep it with her.
Right.
Listen,
Here I can't.
No.
we only have so much in our pockets.
Can
We can't make it appear unless someone's in our gravel pit. Do we happen to have gold and silver flowing through that gravel pit? No.
I think we need to talk to an insurance rep.
I think we have to have someone. I agree with you. I agree.
I mean,
Hey,
That's gonna delay our.
And I told that.
It is.
That we
Because you're
would
not gonna
have
be able to
to.
hire nothing.
Tammy,
to help us make the right decision.
can we reach out to Blue Cross and Blue Shield and see if they can send
Yeah, someone doesn't.
a insurance rep up?
And I don't. You know what I'm saying?
At this point, I think we'll be willing to schedule an emergency meeting to meet with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
well,
So Vermont Legal Cities and whatever you call it. They used to,
Have reps.
they used to give an insurance,
Okay.
but
I thought that's-
2011.
I thought that's through who the dental and vision was through.
it just reoffered it. I thought it sent you that, you may not have saw the email. They had a whole thing on it. Just the other day,
Where is it?
it was an email.
I think.
He told me that they no longer offer it,
They literally sent an
That
email out to everyone about it.
that they dropped in 2011 when they
Nuts.
opened up, must be, like
Within the last-
Vermont Connects,
Yeah,
must be.
that's what everybody's going to.
Is that through?
What they're trying to push state and police.
The LCT last week, we were looking at.
Yeah,
Out of Bakersfield.
and it's,
Yes.
my son had it and it was like a nightmare. Well, with South, they kept screwing it up.
Yeah, it's just insane.
I texted
He get to the doctors with one of the kids or something, and it'd be like, you don't have insurance. Like, what do you mean I don't have insurance?
Don, I don't have that.
I'm looking for it. Hang on.
They'd be like, oh, well, we'll pay that. Yeah, I don't know how that is.
Sent it, that's the problem. Yeah, let me see if I have it.
Oh, it wasn't an email.
It may have been an email, it may have been a. Health insurance rates, August 15th, VLTC news, this just in. ARPA guidelines board.
Don't have it.
And.
Green Mountain Care Board announces 2024 small group rates.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Seriously.
Exactly, not one.
Care?
Okay. What did I just do with that email?
GMCB sets 2024 health insurance rates.
Health insurance rates, ARPA telecom went out to you guys on, I forwarded it to you guys on August 16th. An email from VLCT in its section for 2024 health insurance rates for small groups that you may want to review.
And I talked to that guy after the 16th, because our meeting was the 14th, right?
No, I don't doubt you sent it. I just doubt.
And I contacted him that Thursday,
Here that talked about it.
so it would have been
News.
So I can
15, so it'd been the 17th.
send this to you, Terry, if you want.
I was gonna see it, but I didn't, I didn't see it, but my email has been a pain. in the
Yes, please.
ass too, so.
Here's the question, Lance, and this may be why you didn't get it. Or you didn't see it. Which email of Lance's did I send it to? That's a good question.
Gmail.
Lance
Oh,
Lord.
you didn't get that?
124.
It's at your Bakersfield Fire Department. Yep.
I got it on
You can send it to either one. I've got them both.
So it was August 16th.
Difference.
There you go.
Okay.
That might be where.
So
So, yeah, that
do you
GM,
want to resend that to Terry?
yeah, hang on a second. But
My-
Terry, is that-
On the
16th.
That's the one.
Thinking
Okay, so it's the correct email.
that's when you dealt with.
Terry Gates at Comcast, there we go.
That's who I called, and
Yeah.
I asked him if he had anything that could help us, because we're such a small group, and he said not any longer.
That may make a difference. We are. Yeah, I got it.
Then after that,
Yeah, yeah, that's because I sent it out like the 16th, but did you get it this time? I just sent it to you again, Terry.
trying to get on.
But because it says it's for small business, I think that's the way to look and see if we can get in touch with.
Doesn't get much
Maybe
smaller than this.
No,
The article, see if we can't get some kind of savings on there, which will help.
unless the guy that I talked to didn't know that it had come, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Because they should get, I get those emails ever since I took a class, they just seem to
Because it
flow.
needs a code.
It just keeps sending me email.
You don't know your phone number?
Oh, that's just
I
it.
don't have
Go
my
through.
phone.
Oh.
I don't need
It's
this.
sent a
I don't
code
need
to
this.
my phone.
Just.
It does that.
So
I could smash it every time, and you hit, don't ask me what you want this device.
They must have listened to our meeting.
So at this point, we're looking at different options. If the TVLC or
Sooner than later. Everybody's
Yeah.
not gonna get this.
We gotta put it in.
All right, so VT,
VLCT.
real
oh,
TC,
VLCT.
CTTC, ABC, EFG.
Yeah, somebody.
Tammy.
They didn't write this up in the-
Yeah.
Tammy, see if she can print it out for you.
Our eyes and dental come from.
It was somebody through Vermont League.
Okay. I even asked him.
I'm gonna say it's here somewhere.
Bro.
Northeast Delta Dental
Yeah,
and
So Delta,
I don't see it
Can I
here.
forward you the announcement? Hang on, Matt, here it comes.
Order body.
Forward.
it's not through Blue Cross, and it's outside of Blue Cross.
There you go, Tim. It's over to you.
Right, well, and the reason, I think, Mac, did you bring that to us or was it you, Mark?
Title.
The dental and vision, that wasn't you? Yeah. From John, but didn't you find those through
What are we talking about? We're stuck.
vision and dental?
I forget where we got them from. Was that through VL?
I thought it was.
It may have been Brenda.
Okay.
If you go into the one that says Green Mountain GMB, CB sets healthcare insurance rates.
Did you get that?
In that article, if you click on it, if you
Oh.
put that article out for.
It's like the third or fourth one down.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, like, he told me that when I called.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's got a contact name on it too. Here, why don't you do this? If you. So there's the contact name and phone number she can call from Green Mountain. That makes it easier for you.
And I did, I don't remember who I was talking to, but they said that, VLCT is wanting all communications through email now.
Yeah, they want you to reach out. They don't want to do it. They want you, they're logging in your requests. Let's just. do that.
So what this is. It looks to me like the state. Is asking Blue Cross Blue Shield and MVP
To modify the.
modify their premiums.
Yeah, they want to draw out. There was a whole discussion for small.
So
business.
it's not that
They're offering it.
the LCT is offering it,
No.
they're bringing
Those
this
are
to
just
them,
figuring it out, yeah.
so it could be dropping. But it hasn't yet.
But,
Yeah, I figure if you contact that person, if they give a phone number for it, which top of the article, you may be able to find out. Give you the article, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just funny because it literally came like the next day after the meeting when we were talking.
Yeah, increase their talking. 17.5%.
That's what I thought I read, but it, yeah.
do you think it would be possible to get a insurance rep here?
That's what I would do.
I think that's, Tammy, you're gonna see, and MVP if they're willing to cover, I mean, it would be. I mean, we'd be talking 2, 3 at the max, right, Mac?
We're talking two at the moment and then
Well.
Well, no, I'm saying if they're gonna ask how many employees.
Yeah.
You know, cause if MVP says our smallest plan, we don't do less than 10 employees. Well, then there's no point in having them come here and talk to us, cause unless you plan on hiring a lot more people.
Right.
So that's part of our problem there too.
Yeah, we don't have enough body.
We don't have the,
Yeah.
That's why we gotta keep going with these other pieces.
Yeah, what they're asking for is a reduction of the increases. That's what
Yeah.
this is.
okay,
Yeah. This is, they went for increases,
Yeah.
kind of like going before the Public Service Board
Right.
for a rate increase.
Right.
what, Green Mountain Power don't know nothing about that.
No.
I'm waiting for the October.
For like a 14%, and the state is saying, no,
Maybe try
you
7,
should try, yeah.
Come back.
okay.
So it's not really a health plan, it's more or less them trying to plead their case why they should. Raise costs.
I think so,
I'll make sure I'm right, but
I make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
all those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Yeah. Have a good night.
Yeah.